Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Integrity Restored podcast. I'm Jim O'Day, your host, and I'm blessed to be joined by my dear friend, my brother in arms, Father Allen Hoffa. Welcome, Padre.
Always great to be with you, Jim. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, man, it's a blessing for me, brother. So today, I kind of really love this topic, and it's going to be a two-part series. Today is for us as individuals. And the topic is 10 minutes to change your life. And I kind of want to say I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about this because it doesn't sound like a long time, Father.
Nope. As a priest, there's a lot of times that people come and when they think about prayer, and whether it's just personal prayer, they're trying to grow in holiness, they know they should be praying more, all the way to the persons who we work with through our ministry at Integrity Restored, who are looking for prayer and the sacraments to be a support to their recovery or to their healing. They look at prayer as this massive thing. And I always say to people, let me just talk to you about 10 minutes that can change your life. And people are very much intrigued. They're like, I can do 10 minutes. And I think that, again, it's that thing of remapping people's brains, which, again, we do with our work, especially with people like Dr. Kloponis and the great clinicians that we work with, Jim, the great coaching that you do, just so many different people out there who need that brain remapping to think about things differently. The same thing happens with our spiritual life, because I think that there are people who have a different view on what we mean when we talk about a life of prayer, the spiritual life. A lot of times people go to, taking hours upon hours and all of the time commitment, and that you have to be this very talented or articulate linguist to be able to communicate with God. And I said, just give me 10 minutes. Let me give you this format and go from there. And I also say to people, one of these days I'm going to have enough time to sit down and write this down, write out a book or something like that. But, hey, we know that there's a lot of people who listen to us. So if there's somebody out there who wants to be my ghostwriter, I got the content. I just need the person to be able to. I come from a Pennsylvania Dutch background here in Pennsylvania. So my mastery of the English language is not, as it should be, I guess. But sometimes I get some different colloquialisms and stuff like that into my language. So I need that person to refine it and write it down, but I have the content to be able to share. So if there's anybody out there listening to this, give me a call.
That's awesome. I love it. So let's talk about, well, first of all, I got to say, I completely agree that even myself, early in my journey coming back, thought that the only way to be a good Catholic was, multiple rosaries, the Divine Mercy at 3:00, hours of adoration. And it got overwhelming, quite honestly, of this kind of list of things to do, or I wasn't being good. I wasn't. Yeah. And I remember in confession one time, it was a really interesting question the priest asked me. I was confessing I didn't do this obligation. I didn't do that obligation. I didn't do this obligation. And I was going down this list, and Father said to me, sir, he's on the other side of the screen. Sir, excuse me, where the hell did you come up with all these obligations? You're not a hermit.
True.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. And again, I always say to people, we live in this world where it's all about quantity. I'm a quality over quantity guy, because there are some days where I just give the Lord a few moments, and the stuff that he pours in, it's like, okay, by the way, Lord, that's enough for today, because I just got a fire hose in 2 minutes. That's all I can take, because I need to go and process all of this. Because I think that's the other thing too is, when I do retreats, for instance, I'll say to people, like, there's a number of different things. I have multiple talks today. There's going to be, multiple things going on. I'm not expecting that you're going to retain and listen to every little thing that I say, but there is going to be a point where something resonates in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, and you're going to go with that. Go. You have my permission to go. And I think that when we, do that, where we have to do all these things, then we get into a sense of failure that we haven't completed. The simpler, the better. The KISS method. KISS method. Keep it simple. Very, very, very simple. And this is where this comes from. This notion of 10 minutes that can change your life, change your prayer life. And when go ahead. When I was in high school, I was introduced to the Kairos retreat. And
Mm,
since then in high school and being a priest and working with high school students, I've introduced the Kairos retreat, and it comes from a Jesuit background. And one of the things they talk within there is Ignatian spirituality. And Ignatian spirituality with the Jesuits is something based off of a livable means of prayer. And it's
right,
it's not for the monk who or the hermit. It's for the person who is living day in and day out. And the
right.
Jesuits in this Ignatian spirituality have always talked about the daily examen. And so this led me over the course of time to sort of develop, especially with the things that I saw in young people, but in every person and how we view ourselves a lot of times in a negative way. And so I say, okay, give me the first 5 minutes. So there's two parts to this. There's 5 minutes at night, 5 minutes in the morning. So the first the 5 minutes, the 5 minutes at night, you're coming to the close of your day. Take 5 minutes and first review your day. Think about all the things that happen, the human interactions, the different things that happen throughout your day, and ask yourself three questions. How have I done good? How have I not done good? How am I going to do better tomorrow? So first, how have I done good? This is important because I think sometimes people can get very down on themselves and be like, I don't do anything good. All I do is wrong. All I am is a failure. All I am is a sinner. No, no, no. God made you good. That's the first thing that it reaffirms. God made you good. You are a beloved son or daughter of the Father. And so, in that, there is good that you accomplish throughout the day. Take stock in that. And not only take stock in it and acknowledge it, but acknowledge who it's because of. One, your willingness, but ultimately
Mhm.
to God belong the praise, honor, and glory. So to God is the one who it belongs, and He's the one who has helped you to do that good. So how have you done good? Two, how have you not done good? And again, this brings us mindful of our sinfulness and our weaknesses, again, personally within our human interactions, sins of omission, things that we should have done but we didn't do, things of commission, sinful things that we did do that we shouldn't have, and just understand what has happened because again sometimes we just go, and I always liken this to people who hold back from going to confession because when they look at their sins it's like an insurmountable mountain, and they can't they can't ever see themselves overcoming that. Well, guess what? If we do this daily examine on a daily basis, these 10 minutes, it makes it like a little tune up on a car, wiping off a little smudge versus having to completely redo the detailing and the entire paint job. So, day by day, this makes it very reasonable. Where did I miss the mark today? And go ahead.
So before you go on to the
Yeah,
third question, I just want to share this, and maybe I saw it this morning for this reason. I saw a priest talking that's been a spiritual director for a long time to many, many holy men and women, holy priests, holy sisters. And his experience over about 30 years has been that a holy person sins about 7 times a day.
true.
I was like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
yeah.
I'm not so
Yeah,
bad.
the saints were sinners. The saints were sinners.
Yeah.
They were sinners. We're all sinners, and we're just striving for holiness. And it's our commitment to that. It's our commitment to do these types of things that makes a difference. So you come up with your, hey, here's the good things you've done. Here are the things that you've done that weren't good. And now, here's the third question: how am I going to do better tomorrow? Hopeful outlook. Great thing to bring up, especially during this Jubilee year of hope, as we're pilgrims of hope in this ordinary Jubilee. And I think that comes down to, okay, you know, I don't have to completely reformat my life. I just need to look at what happened today and do it a little bit differently tomorrow. And a lot of times that comes down to being proactive versus reactive. I know what I should do. I just chose not to do it. Or I really wasn't actively choosing at all. I just sort of been sitting on my heels waiting for what's happening. And it's like a roll of the dice or a spin of the wheel, and whatever happens,
Yeah.
happens. No, no, no. Take control of your life. Make the Lord, the Lord of your life, and use his example. And Jesus was proactive. He went up to people, he engaged. He was the one who chose to do good on a daily basis. And we can do the same thing. We choose to do the good. And so if I want to do better tomorrow, these are the things that I need to do. And again, that can be accomplished in a simple 5 minutes. If you want to go longer, if you're inspired to go longer, go for it. But do it for a minimum of 5 minutes. How have I done good? Not done good? How am I going to do better tomorrow as I've looked just back on this day? And again, if you're doing it
Mhm.
consistently, all you have to do is daily. That's 5 minutes. Then go to bed. Okay? Next 5 minutes. Next morning, wake up. 2.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes. First 2.5 minutes, being intentionally thankful. Now, this is one that I have really come to believe is so important for a good prayer life because some people, again, get intimidated by conversational prayer. I'm not articulate, I'm not holy enough, all of these things. Listen, God's listening to you all day long. He's conversing with you all day long. You don't have to be some articulate, speaker. You don't have to go to the Dale Carnegie speaking school, to be able to talk to God. God just wants our simplicity, our humanity, and he wants to hear our voice, and he wants to have a conversation with us because he loves us. And so intentional thankfulness oftentimes challenges us to be very cognizant of the world around us and to make sure that we are taking stock in all of the blessings that we have. People come into confession, for instance, and they're talking about, they're jealous of this, that, and the other thing. They're impatient, this, that, and the other thing. And I say to them, okay, so if you're jealous and you're looking outside of yourself, that means you're not taking stock of the blessings. If you're
Mm.
impatient, it means that you're not looking at your own weaknesses and all the ways in which you've come to overcome your weaknesses and to be thankful for it. So when I talk about intentional thankfulness, this goes from young people all the way up to the eldest among us because we all need to continue to grow in our prayer life. But I say, here's what intentional thankfulness looks like. Okay, if you want to pray like you're in grade school, like a little kid, you can. Dear God, I'm thankful for my family. Well, that's nice. You can be 7 years old and pray like that. But as we grow in maturity, we need to pray more intentionally. So I'll say to a person, okay, what do you want to pray for? My family. Not good enough. Give me one person. Okay, my mom. Good. What do you want to pray for your mom for? Oh, I'm thankful for her. For what? I don't know. Well, okay, take a moment, think back over the last 24 hours, something that your mom did for you or for a group of people, maybe your family, whatever you're thankful for your family. So, what has she done? She made dinner last night. Okay. So, go ahead. Dear God, I'm thankful for my mom that she made dinner. And that's it. Not good enough. Let's go deeper. Let's dig deeper. And again, this is formatting a person to be able to have that willingness to
Right.
go deeper themselves, just in a relationship, as we all should be. And instead of having these superficial, surface level interactions. Okay, so what? Mom made dinner. What's so great about that? What was really good? Okay, well, what else? Does she work? Yeah, she worked all day. Yep. Could she have called like, Domino's, and ordered in a pizza? Yeah. Did she? Nope. What'd she do? Well, she went to the store, she got the groceries, she came home, she cooked the meal, and then she got everybody to the table. And did you have a good time at dinner? Yeah. And does it happen all the time? Nope. Why? Because everybody's busy. Okay, so let's play this back. Dear God, I am thankful for my mom who, after a long day of work, took the time to go to the store, made a great meal. All of her sacrifices provided a great opportunity for us to gather around the table as a family. And I am thankful for all that my mom does for our family because she is amazing and I am thankful for her witness. It's a lot
You know,
different
you
than, hey, I'm thankful for my family, and the light
well,
bulb goes off.
what's interesting to me, Father? I mean, the way you've simplified this. It's like a conversation with a
Mm-hmm.
friend.
Bingo.
If you're talking about your mom to a friend, you're not just going to say, "Oh, my mom's great." You're going to tell them why.
Bingo. Yep.
And it's just such a normal conversation, but it can feel so hard to do when we think we're talking to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, That's the different relationship. The Lord wants a relationship. It's not a perfect
Mhm.
relationship. It's a very yucky, dirty, reality, because again, our sinfulness brings that to the table and he's okay with that. So you wake up in the morning, first 2.5 minutes, intentional. And here's the thing, if we really get good at intentional thankfulness, we would need to be hermits to list everything, because you need all day long to just go down the list of not only what
'Cause
someone else has done, because again, you're to looking at 24 hours, or for the 16 hours that you're up and you're sleeping for 8 hours, whatever it is, but you're also talking about the effects it has on you and the effects it has on other
yeah,
people, and how the world around you has changed in multiple ways that until you took a moment to think about it, you haven't really been able to conceive it fully.
right.
So first 2.5 minutes, beginning of the day, intentional thankfulness from the day before. Second 2.5 minutes, what do you need to ask God for strength to help you be the person he's calling you to be today? And guess what? You already have your list, because the night before, when you said, how am I going to do better tomorrow? You should have been coming up with all of the ways that, these are the different things. So, hey, Lord, I need you to curb my tongue today, because I let my tongue fly out of anger and I need to have greater self control. I need to look at everyone as your beloved sons and daughters. I need to treat them as though, I was talking to you, and I need to make sure that my mouth is in control. And here's the other thing, Lord, I really did not just it took me a lot of hardship to get through my intentional thankfulness. Lord, I need you to open my eyes, help me to see the world in a different way so that I am more thankful. I need to see my blessings and not just my hardships. I need to stop
Yep.
being Mr. Doom and Gloom all day long and everything is not good. I need to account for my blessings. And so once we go through those things, and this is the help I need today, just from what I reflected over the last 24 hours, now you're setting yourself up that the Lord is in the front of your brain instead of somewhere drifting in the back. Oh yeah, I'm like, God's with me today, and I know that. Do you? Have you made him part of the front processing part of your brain of
Mm.
what's going to happen today? Or is it again just that spin of the wheel, roll of the dice? Hey, we'll see if God happens to pop into my consciousness when I'm struggling, or when I'm out of control,
Right.
or when I'm one of my many sins or weaknesses or temptations is coming to the forefront. So, I have found, this as a beautiful recommendation to people. It's again a work off of the Ignatian Spirituality Daily Examined from the Jesuits. And I would just recommend that to people. 10 minutes that can change your life. 5 minutes at the end of your day. Review the day. How have I done good? Not done good. Going to do better tomorrow. And then wake up the next day. 5 minutes. Two and a half. Two and a half. Here's what I'm intentionally thankful for. No glazing over things. And also, Lord, here's where I need your strength today, because I've never, as a priest, I've been a priest for 16 years. Never once has someone come into the confessional and said, you know what, Father, me and Jesus committed this sin. What they do say is, I have, I have, I have. Good. So if the most that you can get out of here's what I need strength with today is, Lord, let's make sure it's a you and me day and not just a me day, life's going to be a lot better, brother.
Amen. Amen. I love it. What great, great advice. And this is the precursor to our next podcast we're doing together, ladies and gentlemen, which is 15 minutes to change your marriage. So you kind of notice a little theme here. There's a lot we can do in a short amount of time when we put the focus where it needs to be. Father Hoffa, thanks so much for joining us as always. Ladies and gentlemen, if this program or any of our products and services has helped you in any way, please consider becoming a donor. Visit integrityrestored.com/donate to make your gift today. And may God bless your journey.